Hi guys, Elmarie from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. Yes, a warm welcome to all new and returning viewers. Thank you very much for your support. It's always so exciting to see when I have a new subscriber. I got a new subscriber yesterday. Hi! Anyway, it is, I don't know, what's the date? 25th of June? Jeez, guys, time is just flying. It's like the 1 minute it's January and it's like almost past June now. And it's beginning of winter in South Africa. While it is officially winter, our winter months are June, July, and August. And we are so grateful for the rain we have been receiving. We haven't had this much rain. Well, we officially have more rain now in June than we've had in the past couple of years over the entire season. So, very, very grateful for that. So, firstly, let me start with admin stuffies. If you want to find me on the internet, anything in that direction, you will find me as A Cup of Yarn. On Facebook, you will also find me as A Cup of Yarn on Instagram. I'm saying that very slowly because I changed the name of the podcast to My Yarn Runneth Over. The reason for that is that I have a Ravelry group for this podcast, so also called My Yarn Runneth Over. The links for that will be down in the description box. You will find me as Ella73 on Ravelry, and then there's the group called My Yarn Runneth Over. If anybody wants to know why it is called My Yarn Runneth Over, because I have had several people asking, looking at me strangely. Although I know that no one who knits or crochets or weaves will not understand what I'm saying. Because yes, I am really highly blessed. And secondly, my business name is A Cup of Yarn. So, needless to say, my yarn runneth over. I am really blessed. Other thing about my yarn runneth over is that my yarn runneth over everything. It runneth over my living room, over my studio, over my bed from time to time. Every now and again, I have this amazing amount of yarn just running over everything until my husband starts complaining and I have to sort of bring everything back to one space. So that is where my yarn runneth over comes from. I just need to move my chair. Okay, so that's that. Also, I'm hosting a make-along in the Yarn Runneth Over group. The thread is there. You'll see there's natural fibers only is the only two rules that I have up is natural fibers only, and preferably as local as possible. So if you are living in South Africa, please use a South African yarn, whatever it may be, whether it's a local cotton or a local merino, or just keep it South African and natural fiber. That's the other bit. And then the make-along is you can use whatever you want to do. You can either knit or crochet or weave or whatever you want to do within the fiber setup. Go ahead and do it. You, if you want to participate, just put your finished objects in the and your WIPs. You can put your work in progress in. You can put your finished objects in. It is running until the 9th of August, so you still have a lot of time left, and I will draw prizes at the end of the make-along. I've got a cat complaining here and I don't know why. Just hang on a moment. Hey. Okay, I don't know what that is about. I had 3 cats. I now have 2. And somehow they have decided that it is now the time to fight for, I don't know what, their territory. And it's both 2 female cats, but don't think everything's going well just because it's a female cat. Anyway, the other thing I also just want to say as a sidebar note, I usually do say that, and I'll say it again. The only place in my house where I actually have the correct lighting to do a podcast is right here in my studio space and my shop space, where everything is empty. I'll tell you about that now. And then and I sit right next to the N1. That's the national road of South Africa, and it's literally I think probably about 4 kilometers away from me, where the road actually starts. And unfortunately, you're gonna hear noise. I've got everything closed up. You're still gonna hear some noise. You're still gonna hear my dogs barking because people are walking past. Nothing I can do about that. So sorry, but yeah, can't do anything. So let's go to knitting. What am I wearing? Well, this is actually an old one. It's the liner shawl that I knit for myself in my own hand-dyed yarns. This one was called M. Not M. It wasn't called M. It was called When Grey Skies Turn to Blue. That's a Chris Rea reference. And I still can't show you the correct color. Really, it's like a blue-gray. And then this one is called Silver Threads and Golden Needles, which was dyed up by me. I actually liked it, but I thought I wouldn't like that, where it's sort of pooling. But I actually do like it. It's kind of cool. So, and then I've got this little bit where I started out with is a small amount of colors of grace yarns that I still had left. And it's completely wonky because I washed it and hanged it. And I've got these little piggies that made an interesting pattern for me. So yeah, it's not looking at its best, but it's keeping me warm right now. And I'm also wearing the sweater I bought in Italy. Now, guys, I don't know. I'm not so fussed about pulling and stuff, but really, this thing is pulling like crazy. I'll show you. You see? Look at this. And I actually deep pulled it this morning with my, I just used my, my nail brush. Sorry, got the word. My nail brush to clean it up with. And it's terrible. It just keeps, the minute it gets a bit of friction on it, it starts giving me that. So I'm using it at home, but... And we bought this in Italy in our episode of theft in Napoli. And, I didn't have much of a choice. I had to get myself something warm. But it's cashmere, supposedly. Anybody has any advice about that, just tell me down below. Comment. Anyway, this will be the episode of the ripping out. Anyway, I don't have any FOs again. I would so love to have FOs right now. Actually, I have an FO, but I think that FO is in the wash. That's just the neck warmer that I made for myself while I was actually I can just knit on this while I'm talking, can't I? I mean, why not? This is how far I am with the sweater, by the way. This is the Alex sweater that I started up and so hope to have finished for our trip to Sutherland for the festival there, and it didn't finish before and it didn't finish on the trip either. So, but I did get some work done with it. I'm busy with this ball, and I think by the time I'm done with it, I should have the right length that I want. I might have to add a bit more, but I'm hoping that I will be done, because otherwise I will not have enough yarn. I do have this one, and this is also 100 gram, but to be very honest, I'm not sure if this will be enough for long sleeves. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna make it shorter sleeves anyway, because this is just instinctive. I don't know if anybody else is like this. Just have some sympathy, please, because when I see like loose strings lying around, I immediately start rolling them up. It's like instinctive. I do have another one of these that I'm using at the moment for a hat, so I don't really want to meddle with it, but whatever. So this is how far I've come with this sweater, and as I said, I really want to get it finished because I really need to wear it. I need to wear it. I need clothes. I really don't even want to talk about it. I really need stuff. I eventually had to go to Woolworths and buy myself two vests. These are, at least they are 100% cotton. But I had to go buy them because I would be freezing in Southern and I didn't have enough clothes. I just don't. Everything, I think one of the things I'm probably not explaining enough is that when we went to Italy, and that was last year, guys, it was on the verge of them going from summer to winter. So on the brink of autumn, and I honestly don't know how cold it's gonna get there, and I get cold very quickly. So I took a lot of my winter clothes with me, and I didn't even overpack, and that's how little clothes I actually have in my closet. I don't have a lot. I think for the standard woman, I have ridiculously little clothes. I have very basic stuff. So I also don't have a big cupboard. I have a small cupboard. So I took almost all my winter stuff, and they were all stolen. So when we got back, it was summer, and I didn't worry about it at all because it was summer. And now it's winter. And all my long sleeve t-shirts are gone, except for one. I had one left. I had two like jackety type stuff, and they're gone. Almost like a long cardigan type stuff it was bought, and then I had two it looked like dresses, but t-shirt dresses, a t-shirt dress. I had two of them. They're gone, and that was my entire winter wardrobe. I know that sounds very weird, but it really was. I think I had one pair of pants in there. I had those two like dresses, and the two cardigan type jackets. And that was it. That was it. So and I think I had leggings and stuff in there because I couldn't find any, just like leggings, which means that everything I had that I was so layering on top of each other, and I mean eventually I didn't really need them because it was still quite hot there. Not hot, but in between. So I didn't really need those, but they're gone. Anyway, needless to say, I needed clothes, which I don't have. And I decided I'm making my own clothes. I don't want to go buy them because I don't like them. And they never fit properly. The sleeves are always You know, I've got big arms, and I don't have a problem with my big arms. It's just that they don't fit into all the clothes. So yeah. Anyway, now that's my work. To get back to the entire theme of this podcast, the day of the ripping off. Actually, not ripping off, ripping out. You remember this little one that I made? Well, okay. Other than for the fact that that already has a mark on it that I can't get it, that's dye. It's dye. I dyed a little grey spot right over here. I really don't like this. It didn't come out the way that I would actually like to wear it, so I'm not going to. I started ripping it out from the bottom. That's like the bottom lace part. And I realized how much I actually messed up this yarn in the process, but never mind. No big deal. So I'm ripping out this one, and I'm going to start another sweater with the same yarn, just top down. And it will probably be just a cropped sweater with very short sleeves. Just like little, just to pull over whatever I need it to pull it over if I'm cold. And also, the way I'm dressing at the moment is really, as I said, like I think about 100 times before, is really just I'm rolling up yarn. Everybody's wondering what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a very bad habit. I don't know why, but if I see strands lying around loose, I have to roll them up. So yeah, anyway, I actually, I can't remember where I was now. Anyway, I'm just ripping this entire thing out. I'm making a shorter, like a vest type thing. Oh, the way I'm dressing, that's where I was last. And I said that a million times before, is I layer. So that in any African winter situation, and in South Africa, you will have days like today where it's 20 degrees Celsius maximum, and that's fine. I mean, I only have 2 long sleeve t-shirts, and believe it or not, 20 degrees Celsius in Africa is actually cold. I know that in Europe and that places it's not that cold. Trust me, if you live in Africa, it's cold. But I've only got 2 t-shirts and this sweater on, and I'm fine. But I think the temperatures are dropping down to 14 or 12 during the week. And then I need to put more clothes on. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of nowhere, the sun comes out, and I mean, it is still June. Really, our coldest month is August. So, but at this time of the year, there's still ups and downs the whole time, and I need to be able to take stuff off as much as I need to put them on. It's just, so I'll just use it for that then, as one more layering thingy. And yeah, the most challenging part of getting this off is removing the seams. And honestly, guys, I don't want to seam anything in my life again if I don't sew it on. But if I have to do it, like, nah. Anyway, that's that bit. That's still lying there. I didn't work anything more on the hat, which means it's not worth showing at all. This is not going to be a very long episode, if anybody's wondering. Okay, so going over to stuff I've bought. Nothing. I didn't buy anything at all. That, by the way, is the stand I used for my merino yarns this weekend. I'll tell you about Sutherland in about a minute. I just want to finish all the works in progress and finished objects. Where I do have a finished object though is with this, which is a needle casing that I made. I'm on to sewing, by the way. So this needle casing I made because there's somebody who actually wants it, a shop that needs this type of thing. So you'll see it just has the pockets in here. I always put in the middle a bit of a larger pocket, just for in case, you know, you don't have a zipper pouch or something for your notions, then it's in there. And this is the inside fabric. These are both cottons. This cotton is actually called shweshwe, and shweshwe is a typical print for African clothes. That's very much a South African thing. I don't think anybody else in this world has shweshwe. But yeah, so it's just the typical roll-up needle casing, you know, nothing fancy about it, just somewhere you put your needles in. I'll probably make some more, send them the samples, and if they want more, I'll make more. So this is my one finished object that I can actually show and say I did finish something. Oh, actually, just hold on a moment. I'm back. Sewing wise, I finished these as well. And these are just very, very simple, full of fluffy stuff. Project bags, really simple. Just like a teeny little tote bag. Let me just try and get this neat tidied up here. A tiny little tote bag. There. It looks like this on the inside. Both of these are cottons. I think actually this is linen. There's a different weave on it, but I'm not sure. The guys at the shop said it was cotton. I don't think the guys at the shop exactly knew what they were talking about. This is also cotton, and this is also cotton. I did put it on my Facebook page. Oh, there's another one. Oh, brilliant. And on Instagram. But I moved the camera. I put the yarn like so into a kit. No, it was never tidied up. Did not have time. So like this, you see that sort of color is in there. It's difficult actually to see the colors. And this is also like a rusty red type color. And it does not. And I'll have to go wash it. I'll tell you about that. Maybe if it hangs out a little, it doesn't have to be. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Anyway, so I can honestly say those are finished objects as well. But that's sewing, not knitting or anything else in that direction. So next on my list of I have to rip this out is actually sewing. So I just wanted to get this out under the blanket I have over my knees because otherwise I would be freezing. So okay, I started making this with the hope of taking it with me to Sutherland. And also with the idea of hacking the Mandy Boat Tea. Yeah, it's Mandy Boat Tea pattern. It's a tessuti pattern, I think. Anyway, I made a couple of tops with that. So I thought, you know what? I'll make a dress. And that does not work. It's a basic. It's difficult to show now. You can see it's a very basic boxy pattern, like so. But I think if you are like a very skinny person that's not very curvy at all, no curves, you know, just this will work perfectly. Unfortunately, I don't know how you're going to look at it. I am really curvy even when I'm really thin. Did not work. So, the pattern hack, although it's exactly the right length that I wanted, and the top is fine, the fabric that I'm using is it's a knit. It's like a cotton knit, but if you see it on that side, it has absolutely like zero give to it, like nothing. It's got a little bit of stretch, but not a lot at all. So I have got another pattern here of a top, like a dress that's got a bit more shaping. I'm gonna have to use that to sort of hack it and just figure out. Look, I'm not a sewer. I've never done clothes before, so I'm not going to do it out of my head. I'll just mess up this piece of fabric. I'm going to take that pattern and I'm going to figure out what the shaping should be. It's not a lot of shaping, it's just like on the one side that has to go down a bit, which means I still have to rip out the top parts, but thankfully that's not such a lot of effort. I didn't use a serger. I used my normal sewing machine, so that's not, I'm not losing a lot of fabric here. Anyway, so I'm hoping to finish this before next week. Just want to see. Oh no, guys, I've got a crisis, and I just realized that I do. Okay, on to this weekend. That's where my crisis is coming from now. I think I'm gonna let this stand outside and hope the smell gets out of it. And if it doesn't, I will have to wash the whole lot of them. Everything in this bin. But let's hope that will not be necessary. Okay. This weekend in Sutherland, and now I can start knitting just by telling you this. So my husband and I drove through on Friday morning. It's about 2.5 hours drive to Sutherland, and really it gets very, very cold there. And then we set up my booth with a gazebo that's not exactly weather resistant, and a wind started coming up, and we both sort of looked at each other and we thought, ooh, this gazebo isn't gonna hold it. It actually did, but I think it's now really damaged. I don't know if I will be able to use it again where there is any form of wind, because then it's going to be gone with the wind. Anyway, and anyway, so, and I slept over there at a knitting friend's house. Thank you, Elsaby. This stuff makes me crazy. Sorry, but I just realized that my stitch holder decided not to hold the stitches anymore. I'm just picking them up and putting it back in its place. So, on to telling you what happened. Saturday morning, okay, and then my son came through and we met him up like halfway, and he came through and my husband went back because he had a work thing on Saturday, so he couldn't stay. But my eldest son was there, and you know, it's the first time that festival has ever been done. So there weren't a lot of people, but I did have quite a lot of sales. My crisis situation over this side is that the wind was really, really blowing. And all over the there's like a little plane on the one side, and then the entertainment but was on that side, and so on. But they were all, everywhere there were like spots where they had fires going, like almost like bonfires. In the middle there was a bonfire, like 3 bonfires going on, and then there were small fires put up along the road and so on. And it went into my yarn, and that is now really a bummer. And that is the risk of having a booth outside. You never know what's going to happen. And I am so not in the mood to wash the stuff all over again. Because it's quite a lot of stuff. It really is. But I'm thinking it will probably have to happen if I'm going to put it out, and if by say Wednesday or so, tomorrow evening or so, it hasn't stopped smelling like fire, like bonfire smoke, then I will just have to wash it again. Anyway, to get back to the actual day, the Saturday, it was really a nice day. It was a good day for me. I mean, I think a lot of people will say I hardly sold anything, but I did, and I made connections, and I really ended up enjoying it. It was small, and it was almost, I think maybe that's why I liked it so much. It was small, and they kept the security. They closed up one side of the side road and one side of the other side of the side road, and then the main road that also closed up. So it was this entire block. So I didn't feel that I have to check out every person that came to the booth and see to it that they actually need to buy something, not to take something. So I didn't have that issue, and I think I made quite a few new clients, and at the same time it wasn't such a rush that it completely freaked me out. Saturday afternoon, the wind picked up. I think it was about, by the evening time, it was 49 kilometers per hour. It's hectic. That the gazebo still stood. I have no respect for that gazebo. And I was standing next to my yarn friend Elmarie, and she was right next to me, and you know, there were some nice food booths, and as I said, I made some connections, which is awesome. Anyway, and then on Saturday evening, we were sitting, and it was about 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I looked at my son and I said to him, listen, I have this inclination to pack up and go home. And he sort of snickered his little snickery laugh. He's 25, by the way. He's turning 25 in August. And he sort of said, sort of went quiet, and he said, okay, well then we need to like pack up at, you know, at about 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, because we knew we weren't coming back on the Sunday. That we knew. We knew I wasn't going to come back Sunday morning. I didn't think there would have been a lot of feet there anymore. I think a lot of people would have gone home or either been sleeping on Sunday morning. I just thought no. And we packed up and we left. We left around 7:30 eventually. Got home at 10 o'clock. I had coffee with my husband, sat down a bit, took a shower and went to bed. And then Sunday, I have to say, Sunday was it was too busy for me on Sunday. I mean, I had such a lot of stuff. I had like a ton of washing to do, and just a lot of stuff to do. And look, I'm really grateful. I actually, oh, by the way, the interesting thing is that I'm in the middle of putting up my booth, and I get this email that I've sold cottons online, and those cottons were actually my bin, so I had to go scratch them out. Not that I'm complaining about the sale, it was just this moment of Okay. But thank you for the new client and thank you for buying yarn. I'm not complaining about that at all. It was just this really moment of, okay, I just have to sort this out. But yeah, Sunday was really busy for me as well. It was just too busy and I was really tired. So was just preparing food for the day and doing the washing because of that. I already said that. Just the general normal stuff. And around Sunday afternoon, I just felt, oh no, I can't do this anymore. And that was the first time I actually sat down. And we watched 2 movies. And I think it was, then we took my son back to his house in Robertson. That's where he works and stays. And yeah, I got home, took a shower and went to bed. No, I'm not. We watched the second movie, finished the movie that we watched. And I said to my husband, I'm taking today off. I'm taking Monday off. Well, my idea of taking it off, but in the sense that I did close the online shop now for 2 days because I have to go do a proper stock take and check what's left and what's not left. There's another market coming up next weekend on the 30th at our local mall, and then I'm done with markets for the rest of the month. So yeah, well, that is the whole story about Sutherland Festival. And it did actually really go well. And I did enjoy my time there. And I am taking today, supposedly taking it off. But I'm actually taking it off to get a couple of stuff. You know, just to get my stuff back in order, sort of. I was thinking now, when I open this bin, it's not really necessary for me to open it and pack it out. Because I'm going to be going to the mall again on Saturday. And then I realized, I think I need to pack it out and just check what's going on in here, because I can't take stuff like this smelling of smoke to another market. That's not going to work. Anywho, that's new news for me too. Okay guys, listen, I am going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to be uploading this podcast again without any edits. So if there's a lot of stuff that's a bit weird, sorry. There's unfortunately not a lot I can do about that. But yeah, I think, oh my word, I just realized how I should do the screenshots. Never mind. I just had a slight epiphany how I should do my how to do the screenshot to get it on the I'm gonna love you and leave you. I have gone completely blank right now. And the wonderful thing about going blank is 1 cup of coffee and I'm better. So I'm gonna go make myself some coffee, drink my coffee, sit down and knit on this, rip this out, and in the process come back and take all of this yarn out of here and see how that goes. So bye guys, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.